I want to be the best there ever was, to beat all the rest, yeah, that's my cause.
Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey, Seaking, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Ponyta, Vaporeon, Poliwrath, Butterfree!
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all.
Hey, sorry for the long wait. I was very busy the past few weeks, but we are back on the Get Off the Stage podcast. It is I, Claire Lefton, a journalism and film student at The Ohio State, who is interested in way too many things, and whenever I try to talk to people about them, they're like, hey, shut up, no one cares. Or get off the stage, if you will. And something I have been interested in for a while, not as interested as my guest, are Pokemons, if you will, Pokemon. So, guest, introduce yourself, and how do I know you?
Hey.
What's my relation to you?
Hey, my name is Lev Lefton. I'm the one person left in the world who still plays Pokemon Go, and I don't think we have ever met before. We're total strangers.
No.
I have definitely not known you as my sister for years.
Just to clarify, if you see us together, older sister. Most people don't know that.
Nobody believes me when I say that I'm 22. People barely believe me when they ask me, like, oh, where do you go to school? They do not expect me to say, oh, I graduated from college.
Yup. Okay, so what is your educational past?
Yeah, I went to University of Cincinnati, DAP. I studied fine arts, and most of what I do is, like, illustration, design, animation, game art I've been really into lately. I've got my own game, Ghost Hospital. Check it out. It's on itch.io and Game Jolt.
She got amazing reviews on it.
I did.
Yes. So speaking of game dev, why don't we talk about our subject at hand today? So we're talking about Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all. I gotta say, I saw the intro for the Japanese version of the Gen 1 anime. They're missing out, man. They are missing out. Like, sometimes the intros for the Japanese Pokemon, as it's called by people who are fans of that, I don't know, I haven't really been following it. Sometimes the intros are better, sometimes the American ones are better. It really just depends.
I feel like Japanese intros in general tend to be better, like Sailor Moon, great. The X-Men intro, fantastic.
Oh yeah, even though the rest of that show was not.
No, Teen Titans, good stuff.
Oh yeah, that was Puffy on Miyumi.
Yeah. So, good way to get into this. So, you know way more about Pokemon than I do. So, Tell me the background of what exactly these Pokemon are.
Do you want the literal background, like the dude who came up with it and his idea, or do you want, like, the in-world canon introduction?
Both. Just make it quick. Let's...
Oh, fuck. Okay. So, geez, what's his name again?
Mr. Pokemon.
Yeah, Mr. Pokemon. Yes, Satoshi Tajiri. I think so. Yes, Satoshi Tajiri is the creator of Pokemon, and the idea for Pokemon came to him as a kid, actually. He was a kid who liked going outside, catching bugs, playing outside, and he kind of had the idea of, like, something that's popular in Japan that's not so popular here is, like, finding bugs and making them fight. Like, you get...
Oh my god!
Hold on. It's not like there are bugs that wouldn't fight anyway. It's like, you find more rhinoceros beetles just around in Japan. You find some, you put them together.
They're in Animal Crossing a lot, so...
Yeah, you find them, you put them together, they're inclined to fight anyway, and they do, and it's cool. It's not anything that they wouldn't do.
You know what that reminds me of? Is a Magic School Bus CD-ROM we had.
That never worked.
It did work. It was the one where they went to the jungle.
Oh, yeah, I was just
There's a thing where you could, like, make animals, like, combine with each other and then fight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was just a dumb idiot kid who couldn't figure it out.
True. Oh, also, by the way, Lev is the one who designed the logo for, yes, artist. But, okay, so what is the in-universe explanation for Pokemon?
The in-universe explanation is I guess they are sentient creatures who, fight. They have a symbiotic relationship with humans. Like, you teach me, I teach you,
Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. A lot of people like to bring up this thing like, oh, Pokemon is animal abuse. It's terrible. But
PETA.
PETA. Yeah, but like I said, it's kind of based off of the whole thing from Japan, beetle fighting. These animals aren't doing anything they wouldn't do anyway. They're just, I believe it's addressed several times in canon, in the games, and in the show, that Pokemon are just naturally competitive. They fight anyway, but, you team up with humans, you help out the humans a bit, the humans get you stronger, and
I don't know,
everybody
Lev.
wins.
Would a turtle fight a sandcastle in real life?
You tell me.
So, there are different versions of Pokemon. So what are
So
the
many.
So, mostly the types of things that people know about Pokemon, there are 3 different, I guess, mediums, you could say. There's the card game,
Oh,
the
yeah.
video game, and the anime.
Right.
So tell me, do you know background on, sort of each of them, and did the card game come first, or did the video game come first?
It was the video game. The video game came first. It was programmed by a team of, 4 dudes. It was not quite an indie game, I suppose. It did have Nintendo's seal on it within the game, and we all know how much Nintendo loves their IPs.
They love their IPs.
They love their IPs. Thank you, Nintendo, for Splatoon. Thank you. But, yeah, originally it was a super small project. You can watch the credits. Yeah, there's people who helped with a lot of things, but, something that ended up giving them a lot of trouble was they only had 1 or 2 Q&A testers, and as such, the first generation is absolutely notorious for its bugs. You can look at,
what were the games in the first generation?
The games in the first generation are red, blue, red and green if you live in Japan, and yellow.
Why was it green instead of blue?
I don't know.
Japan.
I don't know. I do know that in those days you couldn't just hey, we're releasing a patch update, here you go. But you had to kind of release them physically. And I do know that the Japanese versions of Pokemon games, the original ones, were consistently buggier. There used to be this bug, I don't remember if it was in the English versions too, but when you go into a Pokemon gym, there are 2 statues by the entrance, and if you read them, it says, your rival has beaten this gym, and once you beat the gym, it says, the people who have beaten this gym are your rival and you, but in the Japanese version, you can use surf on them and also fish in them. I have no idea.
What does that mean?
It means that, I've gotten a little more insight on how the technical stuff of game development works, but I have no idea how it worked in 1994.
Right.
So
is that where Missing No comes from?
Not that particular glitch, but I'm guessing it has something to do with, how the terrain is defined. You can't walk on the water in Pokemon games. You can't.
Duh.
Right. But, they may have just used the water definition for that, assuming that people wouldn't try it. But, the problem that I've learned with only having a few testers is that you miss a lot of stuff. What a game tester is supposed to do, just fuck around with the game. Just completely fuck around with it. And if something bad happens, you fix it. But they only had 2, so...
They only had 2 game testers?
For the first generation.
Yikes.
Yeah, which is why... let's see, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow was made in, 94, 95. 5 years later, Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, you look at the credits, there's 20 QA testers, so...
Right.
Yeah, they kind of got rid of everything that would cause glitches, the Safari Zone, and the, Cinnabar Island,
Sounds like Cinnabon.
It does, but Cinnabar is a color.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the, towns in, Red, Blue, Yellow are named after colors, except for Pallet Town, which is Pallet.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot!
It's okay,
my god!
It's okay.
How did I not catch on to that?
Dude, it's okay. No other Pokemon game really had anything like that except for Gold, Silver, Crystal.
Could you guys hear the second of me coming to terms with understanding it? Just Just so you know, it took me a while to figure out that Kanga and Roo from Winnie the Pooh make kangaroo. So just, like, keep that in mind when you're thinking about me catching on to things. It takes a while.
Yeah, it's okay. Neither of us are the sharpest knives in the drawer. We're not the brightest bulbs on the hot bush.
Nope. So, do you know much about the card games?
Not a ton. That's more my friend's arena, but I do
Is
like
she
the
like a national Pokemon card game champion?
she's definitely competed in them. I don't know if she's won. I don't really follow what she's doing that much anymore.
Right.
But I have played because I'm a video game kind of nerd. I have played the there was a Pokemon TCG game for the Game Boy Color that recently, I say recently, it was for it was either X and Y or something like that. A few years ago, it got released on the Nintendo 3DS eShop as a virtual console release. For those of you who don't know, it was a Game Boy Color game, and because there was a new Pokemon game coming out, Nintendo was like, hey, let's bring back this old Pokemon game that, like, nobody ever played on the 3DS eShop. So, there you go, and now you can play it on your 3DS. So I'm not super... Like, if you asked me about the modern rules, I probably couldn't tell you that much, but I at least am up to date on the original Gen 1 rules.
Is it like Magic, or...
I've never played any other card game, to be perfectly honest.
Have you played Yu-Gi-Oh? I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Nope.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a sad ripoff of Pokemon. I said it.
There's... You say that, but there's... It is in some sense, in the marketing sense, it totally is, but it, like, in the sense of where it came from originally, it is not. Have you seen the original Yu-Gi-Oh series? It's fucked up, and the Duel Monsters thing didn't even come in for a while.
What about Bakugan? Remember Bakugan?
Oh, Christ, like Bakugan. Oh, that was a thing.
Yes, it was.
Remember when they tried to make Beyblade a Pokemon thing?
Oh my god, yes!
Oh my god. My girlfriend wrote fanfiction about both when they were in high school.
Oh, about Beyblades? How do you do that?
There was an anime.
What?
There was an anime. There was an anime for Bakugan too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's... Everyone was trying to cash in, man. Everyone's been trying to cash in. Ever since every time a new Pokemon game comes out, everyone tries to cash in, and it's never worked until Yokai Watch.
Yeah. When did Pokemon, like, explode into popularity? Was it, like, immediate, or... Would it hit in Japan first and then America, or...
I think. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on the exact history of it, but anyone who was alive in the early 2000s... Pokemon was huge.
Oh, yeah.
It was massive.
Yup. It's still pretty massive. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Pokemon Go, like...
It's lasted. It has lasted. I mean, there's still new Pokemon games. We've got Sun and Moon, we've got Ultra Sun and Moon. There's apparently one in development for the Switch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, let's go into the animes now.
Ooh, okay.
When did the first is it just Pokemon, the animated series? Is that what it's called?
I think it's just Pokemon.
Pokemon? Alright. Do you know what year that was?
The games is more my forte, man.
See, I was more familiar with the animes, and you were more familiar with the games.
Oh yeah, the original was the Indigo League. So,
yeah.
Which...
Ash, Misty, Brock.
Yeah, that one makes sense. The Indigo League is just,
1997. Oh my god, the year I was born.
Disney. Oh my god, they're playing it on Disney. Anyway,
coming up now on your TV, Disney. Okay, I don't want to be sued by Disney, so I'm not gonna do any more of that.
It's too late, man.
Oh god. Shouldn't have made my first episode Disney themed. Anyway. So, let's see. There are other Pokemon, like, weird spin-off things, I remember. Like
anime or game-wise?
Just any, like, Pokemon, what was it called? Troze,
yeah. That was like a Pokemon puzzle game.
That was fun.
That was super fun.
We used to sing the theme song together. Pokemon, Troze. Well, I'm
Anyway,
so sorry.
it's okay. No, it's okay. God, that was a really fun game, and Nintendo followed it up years later with Pokemon Battle Troze, and it sucked.
Okay, there's also Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap. God, I never had an N64. My first home console was a PS2 in, God, when was I? It's like 2007, 2008.
Though I feel like when we got the PS2, you were more into Katamari Damacy, which we both love.
Oh yeah.
Another episode for Katamari Damacy one day.
Yeah, God, the dev for that is awesome. But, God, what was I even gonna say? Right, so, yeah, there's a lot of spin-offs, Pokemon Troze, there was Pokemon Snap. I never played that, actually. I did have a friend who had an N64, but, we only ever played, Pokemon Stadium on that. I don't know if they had Snap.
Right. There's Pokemon Go, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've got, Gen 3 out. Gen 3 is my favorite. That's good for me.
Who's in Gen 3? Like, what Pokemon?
Generation 3 is like Trico, Torchic, Mudkip as the starters. You've got Sableye, my favorite.
Your favorite Pokemon?
Yeah.
What does that one look like?
It's a little green goblin. Green, it's a purple goblin. What am I talking about?
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
We're looking on Bulbapedia right now, your resource for all things Pokemon. Oh, yeah, I see that thing around the room all the time. Yeah. Oh, it has a little gem.
Yeah, that's Mega Sableye.
Or is that a big gem?
That is a big gem.
Okay, good to know the scale. All right.
Yeah, it's not a very big Pokemon, but that is a very large gem. Anyway, yeah, Gen 3, other notables from that generation, legendaries are Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. You've got Deoxys, you've got Jirachi. What else would be notable from that gen? I don't know. Seviper.
What's the current generation?
We are currently on Generation 7 for Alola.
Generation 7. Let's see what's Oh, I don't know Roman numerals.
Just search Alola, man.
There we go. Oh, it's a little Diglett. Diglett is not Generation 7.
It is Generation 1. Although, if... Let's see. Yeah, Generation 7, definitely different. The
is
gym
that a
system,
bus?
It's supposed to be a battery. Just so everybody knows, Charge-a-Bug is absolutely blessed. Hey, you know what we're gonna do? Hold on a second, Claire.
Oh, no, hold on. Okay, let's go through some of these. Okay, I know you like to make the argument that some of the old Pokemon are dumb because they're just animals with their names changed.
The problem isn't that there's no dumb Pokemon. The problem is that people are like, oh, all the new Pokemon are bad. It's like Pokemon has been running out of ideas since day one. They have been. I'm not saying that the new ones aren't bad. I'm saying they've always been bad.
So the original ones, though, I'd say it makes more sense if you're having, like, an animal fighting game, sort of, to have animals. But some of these things are, like, inanimate objects. It's like the people who had to create these things were like, oh, shit, I have a deadline in 10 minutes. And they looked at their desk and were like, oh, what is that? A ring of keys? All right, ring of keys, Mon. Like, I don't... Okay, let's go through some of these dumb ones here for Gen 7.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Comfy. Okay, it's really cute, though.
Yeah, Comfey. It's grass.
It's a lay.
Yeah, it's grass fairy type.
Yeah.
Comfey.
Charge-a-Bug looks like a battery. Yeah. Or I think Charge-a-Bug looks like a bus.
I mean, accordion bus bug, that's what I call it.
Oh, that one's really cute.
Yeah, it does.
Jellicent, yeah.
Jellicent, yeah.
Let's see. It's Gen 6, I'm pretty sure.
Gen 6 is X and Y.
Right, generations. Roman numerals! Let's see, badges.
Dude.
I don't know how to work Bulbapedia. I don't know if you just heard my mom sneeze from upstairs, but she sneezes very loud.
Anyway, here's the Pokedex.
Alright.
Oh, wait, actually, it might be...
Rowlet is very cute, too.
I love Rowlet. We can edit this part out.
They should know our process. They deserve to know.
Do they?
The people deserve to know.
Yeah, no, Bulbapedia.
Okay, so let's see. Oh Jesus! Okay, let's see some of the other dummies.
Wow.
I love me some.
Unforgiving.
I am unforgiving. Oh,
Yeah.
Vikavolt. What's that one?
Vikavolt is the evolution of Charjabug.
What does that one look
It's
like?
an electric bug.
It's an electric bug. Nice. Bonsley, is that just a bonsai?
Yeah, it's from Gen 4, man.
Right. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a lot. One of the things that Gen 4 does is kind of introduce Alolan variants of Pokemon, which the devs have just admitted that it's
What the hell is this?
That's Crabominable, which is actually, I know you think it's dumb, but that's a woolly crab. You just got played.
That is dumb.
Yeah, but a woolly crab is an actual animal.
What?
It is.
That's wild.
So it's like either a woolly crab or an abominable a yeti crab, one of the two.
Cottony.
Cottony, yeah, that's from Gen 5.
What are you, friend?
It's a little cotton puff.
Right. And it's grass and fairy. What can it do?
What do you mean, what can it do? It's a Pokemon.
Yeah. Smart ass. Alright. Carving?
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say, man.
Shelgon? Is that just a shell?
It's the intermediate between Bagon and Salamence. That's from Gen 3.
What's the one that looks like ice cream?
That's Vanillish, Vanillux, and I can't remember what the last one is called.
It's vanilla ice cream. Sorry, Vanillish.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, you missed Sandygast and Palisand.
What? Oh yeah! The sandcastle Pokemons! Oh man.
I mean, to be fair, they're ghost type. They're haunted.
That doesn't make any sense! How is that in fairness? Why not earth type?
Excuse you.
Ground type. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm used to
jackass.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'm pretty sure the ground type is secondary. But
who looks at a sandcastle and is like, "Yep, that's ghost type. Yep, Vanillite, Vanillish, Vanillux.
yeah,
It's a bunch of ice creams. What the hell?
that is also a real fish. You can
Bruxish. That
Bruxish.
scares me.
You can also. I mean, for a lot of these, you can scroll down and see.
Oh, I
what
forgot
they're
about
based
the
off of.
eggs. Execute.
Apparently, something that I learned. Apparently, Execute and Executor are supposed to be coconuts. And Executor is
But
supposed to
they
be a
look
palm
like
tree.
eggs.
I know. I don't get it either.
They're cracked and you can see the yolks.
It sucks. I know.
That's so stupid.
I know. And
You
know,
done played yourself, Pokemon.
And hey, by the way, you know how a Alolan Executor is like 50 feet tall?
No.
Well, it is. And it seems stupid and dumb at first, but I promise there is a real reason. It's because there is a dragon palm tree it is based off of that is actually that tall.
Alright. Made of eggs?
They're supposed to be coconuts, but it's
clearly eggs.
clearly eggs, man. They did not do the best job there.
No.
Like, let's be clear though, the original sprites did not always do the best job in general.
Right. So, something else iconic about Pokemon is the music.
Yeah.
We're talking theme songs. We're
Oh.
talking the Poke Rap. Not Poke Rap. Poke Rap.
Everybody Pokemon. Anyway, that's been stuck in my head for a week.
Is that a song too?
It's Weird Al's song.
Oh, duh. I'm so sorry, Weird Al, that I disrespected you like this.
It's Pokemon. That's what it's called.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Oh, man. So, how did Pikachu become the poster Pokemon for the franchise?
You know what, originally it wasn't going to be Pikachu. It was going to be, Clefairy, which,
I like Clefairy.
yeah, in my opinion is just as iconic, but for some of you it may not. For those of you who aren't familiar, let me just pull one up so I have a better time describing it. Clefairy. Yeah, Clefairy is a Pokemon that is, like, roughly the same shape-ish as Pikachu, just a round thing with some
It looks
stubby
like a
legs.
mix between a Jigglypuff and a Pikachu.
Yeah, it's got some stubby legs and stubby arms. It's got a little curl in the front, and its pointy ears have have some brown on the ends, and it's got a cute little mouth with a little fang. The lore about Clefairy is that they come from the moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're moon Pokemon. Yeah, and if you give them a moonstone, they evolve.
So why did
into
they
Fable.
make it Pikachu instead?
I'm not 100% sure on the story. I mean, weirdly enough, Pikachu is a pretty rare Pokemon.
Right, that's what I thought.
It has a 2% encounter rate in Viridian Forest, which is still pretty early on in the game.
Was it in the original version?
Yeah. Red, blue, yellow.
Hmm.
I mean, they wouldn't have made Pokemon Yellow if they didn't have Pikachu.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So, Pikachu is basically an electric mouse, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Deden is also it might be a hamster, actually.
Interesting.
But every generation, except for Gen 2, does have its, Pikachu variant. Oh, no, wait, Gen 2 has Pichu, which is just the pre-evolution of Pikachu. So every generation does have its Pikachu.
There was also some sad movies.
Man, I don't really watch them.
The movies. I remember there was like a Lucario movie.
Oh yeah, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
I remember
that was
Lucario because you and your friend, who is the Pokemon card game champion, would never let me play as Lucario or any of the versions of Link when we played Smash. And you crushed my ass every time, and I'm still terrible at that game till this day because you never let me improve, you only kicked my ass.
To be fair, that was mostly her.
Or Ness. I couldn't. It was
Ness,
Ness, any of the Links, or Lucario.
Sorry.
Well, I wouldn't want to play as Ness anyway, because Ness is the most annoying character in the game.
You think I play as him because he's hits hard? I play as him because he's very good at annoying the shit out of everybody.
Because he calls out his attacks every time.
Yeah, he's good at flying around.
PK Fire!
Yeah, he's good at flying around and annoying the shit out of people.
I thought it was just because you love Earthbound.
I mean, that too. Originally, it was because I love Earthbound, and then at some point I was like, oh. Yeah.
So I was always, I like the movies. Apparently there was a new movie that just came out. And have you seen the reaction video of people freaking out because
Pikachu talked. That was nobody liked that. That was bad.
What are you saying?
Oh, I don't even remember. Something about I want to be with you, Ash.
Let me try to find it.
Oh, don't. It's not worth it, man.
Pikachu talks.
That was a bad decision.
It's called Pokemon I Choose You. And I like to listen to the audience react to it too.
Pikachu, why won't you get more Pokemon?
You're gonna get a copyright strike for that, man.
I always want to be with you.
The best part of that clip is not the part with Pikachu talking. It's everyone in the audience freaking out.
Yeah, and while we're at it, you guys, we've been talking about Charjabug. You're gonna hear what it sounds like.
What?
I love it! I love it!
I kind of love it too, but what?
It's an accordion bus bug.
Hold on, I want to hear that again.
Yeah. I love Charjabug. It's so ridiculous. It's the best.
That is ridiculous. It's literally someone was like, "Oh shit, they need a theme song." Fuck!
Song. And then it's just a cry when it goes to battle.
And then they're just like, "Pick up that harmonica, Dave." And then Dave was like, "Shit!" And so he just like blew into it for 2 seconds, and that was what they came up with. Let's hear it again and hear what Dave did. Yep. Good work, Dave. I don't know who Dave is, but I just...
Oh, God.
It was probably the Japanese equivalent of Dave. I don't... That's really dumb.
Takashi, pick up that harmonica. Oh, shit.
We do something for Charjabug now. Was it? Now, going back to the movies... Was it a movie or an episode? I think it almost made me cry, or just, like, really bummed me out. It was like they were on this island, and the Pokemon got separated from, like, the crew, and that was an episode. Like, a theme park
That
or
was
something.
an episode! That was in, like, Gen 1, I think.
Yeah.
That was, like, I don't remember what it's called, something about Pokemon Island.
Yeah, it was really sad.
It was kind of
sad.
Right?
Because they thought that they were going to be separated, like, forever or something? Was that?
Yeah, I think. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
There are a lot of those. Like... episodes of Pokemon and movies of Pokemon where it's like, now Ash. No, sorry. Now Pikachu. I'm gonna have to leave you forever. And it's like, why?
Get out of here, you scamp!
Get out! Get out, Airbud! Get out!
I never loved you!
Which is like, why do you need to do that? Like, old people have Pokemon too. Like,
Yeah, everybody has Pokemon. They're not just for battling. Sometimes people just have Pokemon. They're not even in Pokeballs. They're just there. Like
Misty
remember-
always carrying around Togepi. Why does she always carry Togepi around?
because same reason Pikachu's always out.
But,
Doesn't like to be in its Pokeball.
I know, but do you have to hold like that? It's like a big...
I mean, do you think it can walk on those tiny stubby legs? Do you think it can keep up
Evolution
with a human?
failed Togepi.
I mean, you say that, but it evolves into Togekiss.
What?
Togekiss has wings. Or Togetic, I mean.
Togetic? Oh. Okay.
So technically, evolution does not fail it. It's just that Togepi is a baby Pokemon.
Aww. Hey, know what else evolution failed?
What?
Magikarp?
What do you mean? It evolves into fucking Gyarados!
No, I just mean evolution in general. Like, it just...
Oh, yeah, it's like,
Do you have the Pokemon Go description of Magikarp?
Yeah,
I
I also have Pokemon
Corp.
Magikarp Jump. Pokemon Go. I'm still trying to get 400 candy so I can evolve it into a goddamn Gyarados.
We want to be the very best.
like no one ever was.
I feel like you knew the entire Poke Rap at one point. Do you still do? My friend David, who you may recognize from the first episode, and I, at Buckeyethon, which was 12 hours with no sleep, all standing up, when we hit karaoke, which was near the end, in our exhausted stupor, I would say it was a point of almost euphoria, but because we weren't aware of our surroundings or anything, what we were doing, we were like, hey man, wanna do the poker rap? And he's like, hell yeah! And so he did the rapping, and I did the singing parts, so that was...
Kanto Dex, where are you?
You have a lot of Pokemons.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be the Pokemon
Just so you know, I
master.
do actually know how to pronounce Pokemon. it's for comedic effect.
Yeah.
Oh, he's flopping around.
Magikarp is a pathetic excuse for a Pokemon that is only capable of flopping and splashing. This behavior prompted scientists to undertake research into it. That is mean.
So mean!
It's so mean! Every Pokedex entry on it is mean, I think. Let me,
Well, it is useless.
I mean...
Unless you want to make a Gyarados.
Yeah, there's another Pokemon that kind of takes
Its
over the
eyes always
uselessness
kind of
reign.
look like it's really scared to just be alive.
Oh my god. For Pokemon Red and Blue, in the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist
Oh my
today.
god, from the get-go!
Let's see. An underpowered, pathetic Pokemon. It may jump on rare occasions, but never more than 7 feet. Jesus, that's pretty high. For no reason, it jumps and splashes about, making it easy for predators like Pidgeotto to
I
push
like
it
the
mid-jump.
crystal one.
This weak and pathetic Pokemon gets easily pushed along rivers where there are strong currents. Ruby.
Ruby is the same
Yeah.
one as...
Ruby is the same
Pokemon
as
Go.
Pokemon Go. Sapphire. Magikarp is virtually useless as it can only splash around. As a result, it is considered to be weak. However, it is actually a very hardy Pokemon that can survive in any body of water no matter how polluted it is. Oh, Sapphire's nice. Fire Red is virtually worthless in terms of both power and
my
speed. It is
God!
the most weak and pathetic Pokemon in the world. God. Diamond. It is said to be the world's weakest Pokemon. No one knows why it has managed to survive. Pearl.
Oh, so mean.
Pearl,
The poor Magikarp.
It is unable to swim against even slow-moving currents. It always splashes about for some reason.
Oh.
God. Black and White. A Magikarp living for many years can leap a mountain using Splash. The move remains
It's
useless, though. I don't know, that seems pretty useful. X and Y is the same. It's like, oh yeah, Moon. Its reckless leaps make it easy pickings for predators. On the right side, many in Pokemon enjoy longer lifespans thanks to Magikarp. Oh my god, and...
Yeah.
Sun. Although weak and helpless, this Pokemon is incredibly fertile. They exist in such multitudes, you'll soon grow tired of seeing them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Pokemon Sun and Moon are kind of famous for being like, oh, yeah, by the way, Pokemon fuck and kill each other.
Wow.
So they kind of take the more, yeah, this is nature approach to Pokemon, which I appreciate, but
Oh my god.
so mean.
So mean. Jesus.
Oh, wow.
So, another Pokemon thing that I remember was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
I remember it was the first time I ordered something, like, in advance. We went to GameStop, and we were like, we want to put this on hold. You got
Hell
the
yeah.
DS version, I got the Game Boy version.
Yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red and Blue, fucking rocked. The games after that, Explorers of Time and Darkness and Sky.
Do they still make them?
Also fucking rocked. Yes. The game that came after that,
Explain what makes Mystery Dungeon different from regular ones.
Hold on a second. The one that came after that, Gates to Infinity, it was okay. Super Mystery Dungeon is fantastic. It's super hard. I've been stuck in the same spot for like a year.
Oh.
Mystery Dungeon games are kind of... They're no longer exclusive to Pokemon. I mean, they never really were, but they weren't really too much of a thing. At least not as widely recognized as they are because of Pokemon. It's kind of like, do you know what a roguelike is?
No.
Okay, so a roguelike is... It's kind of the same as a Mystery Dungeon game. You're in dungeons that are completely generated anew every time. We call that procedural generation. And every time you go in, you kind of start from the beginning. Every time you die, you just die. You lose all of your items, all of your money, all of your weapons.
Oh my god.
Everything. And it's not turn-based or anything. It's just, you go in, you fight things. If you die, you die. But Mystery Dungeon is kind of a more, I want to say fair, but it's more of like a more RPG-style approach to it. Usually if you die, you get to start over. You don't lose your levels. You don't necessarily lose all of your stuff.
I feel like you're missing the big difference between Mystery Dungeon and regular Pokemon games.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Let me just explain it first. Come on, man. Yeah, so Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, it definitely takes the, it's pseudo-roguelike, I guess you could say. It's, procedural generation, but it's not as unforgiving. And the big difference between Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and the mainline Pokemon games is that you play as a Pokemon, which I've always loved.
I loved it.
And you usually take a, what's the word? A test, a personality quiz before you become a Pokemon. And I say usually because, once again, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Gates to Infinity, was only okay.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Didn't you make a Mystery Dungeon comic for a bit?
I was in, like, middle school.
Yeah, you've done a lot of comics in the past. And I think there was a cartoon, too. It was like a DVD.
Oh, yeah, it was like a one-episode spin-off
We
thing.
got it at McDonald's?
I don't remember where
Probably
we got it.
McDonald's.
Probably.
Because I think we also got a Lizzie McGuire DVD to McDonald's once.
Maybe. I don't even remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah. So, you said your favorite Pokemon is, what was it again?
Sableye.
Sableye. Alright. So, I got into Pokemon because you were into Pokemon. That tended to happen with a lot of stuff because our little siblings are triplets. And so, when they were born, I was 3, Lev here was 6, and so, it wasn't like a malicious thing like, go, we don't care. No, it was more of a...
We can't relate to you. I'm 5 years older than these children.
It was more of a, my parents had to take care of 3 infants at once, and so we spent a lot of time together and also watching TV.
And also, I convinced her that vampires are real and they only attack younger siblings.
It's true. She did that. They, sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
And, let's see, what was it? You got me into a lot of things. Neopets.
Oh, yeah.
Anime.
Which ones?
The ones you would watch, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that was just the Cartoon Network anime.
It was Cartoon Network and, Toon Disney. It was like Puka and...
Yeah. Super Robot Monkey Team,
Hyperforce
Go.
Yeah!
It's arguable if those are anime. I don't even know if they come from
Remember
Japan.
Kappa Mikey?
Holy fuck! Oh my god!
Did I just blow your mind by reminding you Kappa Mikey exists?
Kappa Mikey lost in Japan. Jesus Christ.
Were you a fan of Captain Mikey?
I was something. I was like, I saw 3 episodes and I was like, I want to see more, and then I never did.
Because you were a Japan addict for a while. You did the Naruto run and everything.
Excuse me, we call that a weeb.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
You took Japanese.
Okay, to be fair, it was because it bugged the shit out of me whenever I was on DeviantArt and I see people saying, OMG, kawaii, and I was like, fuck you, I'm just gonna learn the actual language.
Kawaii. No. I apologize. Whoa. But, what other, yeah. So I got into it because you were into it, and I was that one kid who just liked cute things. Apologies. And so I was
It's
like...
okay, we're both basic bitches.
And I was like, oh my god, Skitty's my favorite because it's a little pink cat.
I was in my edge phase.
Yeah, you were! And you were like, I hate Skitty.
Oh, what was wrong with me? What was
We were
wrong with me?
opposites. I also like Ditto because Ditto was pink and blobby.
I was in my pink is the worst, I hate everything pink phase, and now that I've kind of accepted that the gender binary is a lie, I can embrace pink again.
We were fans of Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi, and I liked Ami, and they liked Yumi.
Yeah.
Because...
I don't remember if it was the pink. I do remember I did love the punk rock goth.
One.
I did love the,
yeah.
It definitely was aesthetic.
Yeah. And... yeah, a lot of that, I liked the cute ones. I liked Piplup. I still like Piplup.
Piplup is a good Pokemon.
Piplup was from Mystery Dungeon originally, I think, right?
No, it's from Gen 4.
Gen 4, right.
I picked Piplup as my starter in Gen 4, so I'm not going to fault you on that.
Yeah, I like Rowlet.
Rowlet is so good. That was my that was my starter in Sun and Moon.
Jigglypuff. I played as Jigglypuff during Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You wrote a Brawl comic, too.
I sure did. It was 50 pages long, and it sucked.
I don't think I ever finished it. It was something like Master Hand was like...
It was...
Tell us. Tell the audience. What was your Super Smash Bros.
This is a Pokemon podcast. Why do I have to help myself like this?
Okay. It's fine. I thought it was really cool, so...
I mean, I'm sure then it was also really cool. It was, again, 50 fucking pages long, but, I did it as a sophomore in high school, so that should tell you about the quality.
At least you weren't in, like, middle school.
That's an improvement.
Would have been worse. Always could have been worse.
Always could have been worse.
So, when did you get into Pokemon?
Oh, God. I guess it was twice. When I was in kindergarten, I used to watch the Pokemon anime all the time after kindergarten. I'd come home, I'd sit down in my parents' bedroom and watch on Kids WB on their TV Pokemon, and I loved it. It was sad how much I did, because I do remember at one point, Mom and Dad brought the TV in their room downstairs for, it might have been a Super Bowl party or something, and I just went in their room, sat on their bed, and stared at the wall.
Oh my god, that's the most you thing I've ever heard. Did you imagine Pokemon? What happened?
I mean, I think that's what I did. I think I sat there for a while before deciding, this isn't
There's the TV
good.
right there.
Oh, wow. No, I got that one from a...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got that. No, that's not the TV. But, I did do a lot of Pokemon imagination games, like, good god, y'all.
Oh my god, do you remember, what was it? Like, Pokemon Academy or something? It was, like, educational stuff. Like, I remember...
Oh, yeah. It was alright.
Oh my, what was that called?
I feel like a Pokemon Academy, maybe. IDK.
Because I remember it was, like, math and, like, etiquette and...
Yeah, it was a little
language.
Advanced. It was a little, I was too advanced for it, so...
I was like, oh my god, Pokemon can teach me about angles! And I don't know why I remember that. It also taught me about the moon phases.
Really?
I remember, the two I distinctly remember are moon phases and angles taught to me
Really?
about Pokemon, yeah.
How do they teach you?
I don't remember. I just remember that they did.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I mean, there's still a ton of Pokemon spin-off shit to this day, of varying quality, but, like, usually the stuff that is, as a game, is never worse than okay. That seems to be the standard with all Nintendo games. Like, nothing is ever, at least mainline Nintendo games, Nintendo IPs, I mean. Nothing is ever, like, so bad it's unplayable. It's just alright. You know? There's no bad Kirby game. There's just ones that are, like,
Love Kirby.
Kirby Mass Attack, that was alright. It wasn't really anything special. It was just a Kirby game.
What was the Fabric Kirby game? Kirby Yarn?
Epic Yarn, yeah.
I always wanted to play that.
Yeah,
That looks really fun.
it's for Wii. I could get it.
Yes.
Yeah, the second time I got into Pokemon, I was in, like, I want to say 2nd grade, and I remember we were at the lake house that my collective family had during the summer, at this lake in northern Ohio called Atwood Lake, and my cousin Ben, he brought his Game Boy SP, and...
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, his Game Boy SP, or it might have just been a Game Boy Advance, I don't remember, and, Pokemon Sapphire, and up to that point, I had no idea that Pokemon was even a game. As far as I knew, it was just an anime. It was just a cartoon. But here it was, an actual game, and, like, he let me play it as long as I didn't save over his file, and I didn't. I didn't get too far, but, God, I was enamored. I never actually got my hands on, like, Sapphire or Ruby until years later, but I do remember that soon after, I saw a commercial on TV for Pokemon Emerald, and boy did I want it. I remember there used to be a GameStop that was really close to our house, and I walked in with $5 saying, "Can I buy Pokemon Emerald?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's $30." And I was like, "Oh." There used to be a GameStop by the bagel place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Did it move into the mall? Is that why it moved?
I think it might have just... I don't think there's one over there anymore. I don't know. It might have just been there.
I totally forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I wanted it really bad, and I got it, and boy, is it still my favorite game to this day. Nintendo, you cowards, bring back the Battle Frontier.
What is that?
The Battle Frontier, it's like, okay, so after every Pokemon game, there's always, well, except for Red and Blue, there's always some sort of post-game content. Originally, that was the Battle Tower, which was like kind of an infinite challenge. You could go in and fight stuff, and the challenge is to get to the top of the tower.
Right.
And there's ways to do it. But for, yeah, they did that for Yellow, and they did that for GSC. GSC barely needed it because its post-game content was the entire Kanto region. But Pokemon Emerald kind of took it to the next step. Yeah, you had the Battle Tower, and that was in Ruby and Sapphire, but in Emerald, along with the Battle Tower, you had, like, 7 different other places to kind of test your mettle with Pokemon, and sometimes it wasn't even just Pokemon. Sometimes it was also, like, adventuring. There was, God, I don't even remember what they all were, but I remember there was one where your Pokemon chooses the moves, you don't get to do anything, it is all your Pokemon. That was awesome. There was the Battle Factory, which did kind of get brought back in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where you pick random Pokemon and fight with those. They're not yours, they're just completely random. There was, I don't remember what Lucy's was, but, it was kind of like a test your luck sort of thing. There's 3 doors, you choose one, sometimes you battle, sometimes you get something good, sometimes something bad happens, it's all up to chance, and if you get through so many doors without fainting, you get to fight, the Frontier Brain.
Oh, that's another thing, is that you don't die, you faint.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon can die. That is established in every game. There's Pokemon graveyards.
How do you kill a Pokemon? I'm asking for a friend.
Jesus. Well, I don't know about that, but I have started playing a Pokemon tabletop with some of my friends lately.
Is it like D&D?
Kind of. The rules are a lot different, but it's...
Do you play as the Pokemon?
No.
Oh.
I mean, sort of. You play as the trainer, they're your main thing, but you basically control your Pokemon as if they're also your main thing, so yes and no.
So, kind of going back to Charjabug. So, Charjabug has that weird cry. It's not, he doesn't just say Charjabug.
The anime and the game are different interpretations. I've heard...
Because in the anime, all they ever say is their name.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing.
Except for Meowth.
In the Japanese anime, they tend to do a lot more of, like, actual animal noises. In the American anime, because 4Kids fucking sucks, they all say their names. And in the games, you either get animal noises or terrifying electronic screeches, depending on which generation the Pokemon comes from.
Really?
I mean, you want to look up Snubble's cry?
Do I? Let's see. Snubbles. It sounds cute.
It is.
Snubbles.
UL.
Oh, Snubbles?
It's Snubble, it's like a bulldog.
You think they're gonna have any Pokemon in Ready Player One that
If they do-
can misinterpret the point of?
If they do, I hope Nintendo sues.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you see? Yeah, again, yeah. I mean, a lot of the cries got revamped for the newer gens.
That was scary!
Yeah, a lot of them got revamped for the newer gens now that it isn't running on, like, an internal thing that's like, okay,
that was
we're
horrible!
leaves. It's... Yeah, again, terrifying electronic screeches are actual animal noises. Like, compare that to, Shinx's cry.
Sounds like an alarm. Car alarm.
Kind of. I mean, you can vaguely tell it's saying something along the line of Shinx.
Yeah. Can you?
Either way.
Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet.
How do they choose which Pokemon can speak and which ones can't?
What do you mean?
Because, like, Meowth can talk to Team Rocket.
Well, Meowth... There was a whole story about Meowth. Apparently, Meowth fell in love with this other Meowth. Team Rocket Meowth was a stray.
Mm-hmm.
And the Meowth that he fell in love with was, like, you know, a pet Meowth, all pampered, loved humans.
Mm-hmm.
So Meowth was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn to speak.
No. Say it in the Meowth voice.
You know what? I'm gonna learn to speak! So, he taught himself to speak, and actually his first English sentence was, R is for rocket. So, that's a little bit of why he joined. The other Meowth ended up snubbing him, thinking he was weird for speaking human language, and now he's just technically a freak.
Yep.
But, you know.
So Lucario can speak also, right?
Yeah, but that's more telepathy.
And then Mewtwo?
Mewtwo, because he is an affront to God.
Why?
What do you mean, why? It was an attempt to... Mewtwo's kind of a Jurassic Park scenario, I guess you could say. Like, Mewtwo was taken from the DNA of a fossilized Mew eyelash and recreated, but it wasn't perfect. Mewtwo is a man-made Pokemon.
Oh, that's way more deep than I remember it being.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like 5, so...
Yeah, Mewtwo is a man-made Pokemon.
So is Mew alive still, or...?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that legendary Pokemon, it's not just the one is alive and there are no others in the world. It's more like, you know, they're really, really rare and only breed under extremely specific conditions. Like that. Like, I mean, I don't know.
So you think in Ready Player One they're gonna be like, you know what we have to do to win the Oasis is create a Mewtwo, because that worked out well, because, you know, they're really interpreting the Iron Giant correctly and having him have a giant gun, because his most famous line in the Iron Giant is, I am not a gun. Obviously, he wasn't a gun, he wanted a gun. So...
I've created a Mew. You messed up a perfectly good Mew Yeah, I've created Mewtwo. You messed up a perfectly good Mew is what you did. Look at it. It's got anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what happened. Giovanni was like, yeah, let's recreate Mew. And
Giovanni!
yeah, the leader of Team Rocket. And Dr. Fuji, who is, in the games, kind of a very well-known Pokemon doctor. Not quite a professor, but, like, you get the idea. Does a lot of, like, medical, that kind of work for Pokemon. And Dr. Fuji helped, but, wasn't a fan of it.
Are Pokemon doctors or vets? Or nurse joys?
I mean, a Nurse Joy is a nurse. I'm pretty sure a Pokemon doctor would be a veterinarian of some sort. I mean, it's still a doctorate.
It's like the questions in Cars, where it's, do they have car insurance or life insurance? And the answer is they have car life insurance.
I mean, if you take your dog to the vet, you don't say Vet Bob, you say Dr. Bob.
That's true.
They're still a doctor.
Yeah.
So.
I guess that's the case. So are Nurse Joys separate people?
Yeah, of course they are. I mean, that becomes more apparent in, like, in the anime, they're different people. You sometimes see multiple Nurse Joys on the screen at one time. Sometimes it's like, oh, these are my cousins, or, oh, this is my union, or whatever. I don't know if it's actually a union, but...
They're unionized? Nurse Joys are unionized.
I think they are in, Sun and Moon, actually. I think one of them actually says
Do they go on a labor strike?
If they do, it's not on screen. I do remember that, like, sometimes in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, if you, in the Pokemon centers, there's, in Sun and Moon, you've got, your Pokemon Center in the center, you've got your Pokemart off to the right, and off to the left you have a little cafe, which is cool. And sometimes, if you go to the cafe, the Nurse Joy will look over and be like, you know what, it's time for a break. And we'll actually join you over there and talk to you a bit. And something like, yeah, I have, union-regulated breaks or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so there you go. And Nurse Joys are separate people, and if I remember correctly, there's, like, one other Nurse Joy NPC out there somewhere who is not behind a desk and is just minding their own damn business.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Sorry I went Owen Wilson there for a second. I was still thinking about Cars. So
I was thinking about that tweet where he said, I've only said wow a few times. And then there's a video compilation that's like 7 minutes long of him saying wow.
Alright, any other cool, fun facts about Pokemon?
Let me think. There's the Matsuda method, where if you have a Pokemon that's from a region that speaks a different language, and you breed it with a Pokemon from a region that speaks your language, or just one from your game, your chance of hatching a shiny is doubled.
They speak different languages?
No, I mean, like... Sure. I'm talking about, like, games from, like... We're in America. If I got a Greninja from, like, Japan, and I bred it with
you mean in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I got a Greninja from Japan, and I bred it with, like, a Ditto or a Greninja from my game, I'd have a double chance of getting a shiny Froakie, which I tried to do. I bred like 400 Froakies. Still, I never got
a Froakie farm.
I never got that shiny, man. I never got that shiny.
What are shinies exactly?
A shiny is a rare Pokemon. I don't remember the chance exactly. I know it's been kind of inflated in the more recent games, but there's really no actual difference between a shiny and a real Pokemon other than shinies have a different color palette, which is cool because they're very rare. Fun fact, originally the term shiny was not canon, it was just fan words, but it did eventually get adopted into canon Pokemon vernacular in later games.
Mm-hmm. How do you even get a Pokemon from a different country to breed? Do you, like, trade with people online?
Yeah. Yeah, you can only, I mean, as far as I'm aware...
How'd you get that many Froakies?
You breed them!
No, how'd you get that many Froakies from Japan?
No, I didn't get that many Froakies from Japan. I just got one Japanese Greninja, and I bred it with mine.
Wait, the Greninjas make Froakies?
Yeah, Froakie evolves into Greninja.
Wait, hold on. You said you got Greninja from Japan.
Yes,
and
someone
one from
traded
America.
And I have mine from America.
And then it makes a Froakie.
Yeah.
Because you said that Froakie evolves into Greninja a second ago.
Yeah, I got two Greninjas, and I put them together, and I
you
bred them, and they made a Froakie. How is this so...
Oh, shit! Right!
What the hell are you thinking?
I thought that it would make another Greninja.
No!
Oh my god, I'm so dumb.
I mean, I know you don't
I'm
play
not a
Pokemon that much.
biologist!
I know you don't play Pokemon that much, but I think you understand how evolution works.
I'm not a biologist.
Oh boy.
I'm taking animal science, though, so pray for my grades. I guess is the moral of that.
Yeah, I guess I might have to put in a good word for you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So how many Froakies did you end up breeding?
Too many. Too many. I tried to give away a lot of them over Wonder Trade, but there was always too much.
Too many Froakies. Too many Froakies.
Too many Froakies.
Too many Froakies.
Too many Froakies.
Anyway, what do they look like?
They're frogs.
Froakie. Oh, right.
It's a little blue frog.
Yep. That's cute.
Yeah.
What does a shiny Froakie look like?
Actually doesn't look too much different. It's like, it's just brighter.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's just paler.
That's underwhelming.
Yeah, that's mostly because there's a lot of old-style Pokemon that are like that, too, because in the old days, before we could just, make 3D models of shit, Pokemon were colored by certain palettes within the game, so they just ended up using the next palette after the one that it already had, which also resulted in some Pokemon just being lime green shinies.
Gross.
Look up shiny Ursa Ring.
How do you spell
Ursa
shiny?
Ring.
Ursa Ring.
Yeah.
It's a green bear.
Yeah, it's a green bear, and normally they're brown.
It's Yogi. Anyway.
And I got that picnic basket. I wonder if there's a Yogi Ursa Ring in Pokemon.
I don't know if the Japanese are as into Hanna-Barbera as Americans are.
I don't know. You'd be surprised what they pick up on sometimes.
Man. Any other cool Pokemon factoids for us?
Let me think. Do I have any? I don't think so.
Alright, so that is going to be our episode for now about Pokemon. Thank you for listening, and we should be back soon.
Yeah,
Yay!
see ya!